Good evening, everyone. Today is the 5th of April, 2026. That makes today Sunday, and this is Easter Sunday for those who celebrate. And this is a look at your weather ahead presented by Flagler Weather Info, supported by Flagler County Assist. So, we're taking a look at satellite imagery this evening, and this is going to kind of open up the story of how our weather is going to play out here in Flagler County. Now, you see these flashes here. This is lightning. So we have some thunderstorms off to the north. It looks like where the sea breezes have collided, you can see the thunderstorms firing up. So right now these guys are on north and south of us. We already had one little thunder shower slide through the southern part of the county. That one has weakened. So we could get a chance of more showers or storms during the overnight hours. And I see this big band of cloud here. This is a front that's approaching. This front is going to come in and stall out. So let's get a closer look at all that. So let's take a look at all that. So, because this is going to be driving our weather the next couple days. And there's some significant changes. So don't let this really nice day we had, don't let that fool you. For anyone that had those outside sunrise Easter services this morning, you got really, really lucky. Just one day off, and you would have been dealing with some unsettled weather. And that is on the way. So we have the front coming in. This is the weather as things show in the weather map as of right now. As we get into Monday, you can see that a couple things happening. This one front comes off to the south. It stalls. High pressure wedges in. Then here comes another front. And then by the time we get to Tuesday, that front stalls out, and then looks like a weak low pressure system tries to develop on the south of us along that front, while strong high pressure builds in from the north. And the pressure differences between these two features is going to bring us another localized nor'easter along our beaches. So let's talk about what the National Weather Service has concerns with. So we're going to go to the latest update from them. So there's going to be a high risk of dangerous rip currents through Monday, and then these dangerous surf conditions and a high battering surf reaching local beaches by Wednesday with potential of 7 to 12-foot breakers. So, yes, there could be some beach erosion with that as we get to maybe Wednesday. That's when the worst of this weather, what we're getting, is going to be here on Wednesday. Now, before the winds start up, some patchy fog could be possible in the inland locations early Monday, early tomorrow morning. That's probably more likely well away from the coast. There are small craft advisories for the offshore waters, but gale force gusts are expected to develop. And we still continue with the drought, though we're hoping this rainfall that we're going to get would begin to knock that out. So we do have that high rip current risk. This is going to persist at least through Monday, probably going through Wednesday. This only goes up to about Monday right now. And we can expect deteriorating ocean conditions Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as conditions deteriorate right along the beaches. Small craft advisories are now in place. This is through Tuesday night, and this could get upgraded to a gale warning depending on how things set up with the wind. And we'll get looking at the wind here in just a minute. Coastal marine hazards can be expected throughout the entire week. Strong onshore winds will develop. And again, just like the last time, there could be some localized areas along the coast that see some brief spells of gale force winds. Right along the beaches is where the worst of the winds will be. Like if you're inland, if you're like in Palm Coast, Bunnell, it's going to be breezy, maybe a little gusty, but the strongest winds will be right along the immediate beaches. So Flagler Beach, Beverly Beach, Hammock, ocean-facing Hammock. So if you're right on the beach in the Hammock area, it's going to get quite blustery. If you're over by A1A, though, the trees are going to shelter you a little bit from that wind. Marine land, is going to be in this weather. So high rip current risk, very dangerous surf conditions and windy at area beaches, and this can be expected through at least Wednesday or Thursday as conditions continue to deteriorate. Again, talking about the drought, we hope to get maybe a little bit of this knocked out or knocked down a little bit. Right now, as things stand right at this moment, we are in extreme drought. So let's talk about the wind. Let's talk about that first, because that's going to be one of the bigger stories. So today it was gusting up to 20 miles an hour, not that big of a deal. Tomorrow we're going to start to see gusts up to 30 miles an hour, 33 miles an hour in Flagler Beach, 35 at Marineland, 33 in Palm Coast. Bunnell gusting up to about 28 miles per hour. This is just gusts. This is not sustained winds. But this is the way things are looking tomorrow, and that is 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. But let's go to the next day. This is Tuesday. Now we're gusting up to 37 miles an hour at the beaches. 38. That's closing in on gale force up there at Marineland. So this is approaching gale force gusts. And this is a forecast gust. We could very easily get gusts greater than these numbers that we're representing here. Also, they could be a little bit less. This is just kind of what the forecast is aiming for. And the winds will be notably stronger and coming in from the northeast, from the northeast. That's why they call it a nor'easter, right along the immediate beaches. So there'll be a big difference in the wind from like the beach to when you go inland. This is Tuesday's expected winds. Now we get to Wednesday. Now we're into gales. So we are gusting up to 43 miles per hour at Marineland, gusting 40 at Beverly Beach, Flagler Beach, Palm Coast, approaching gale force. So if you have any really light, loose items that could be blown about, like trash cans, any delicate decorations, trampolines, anything like that, especially if you're east of I-95, and especially if you're right along the beaches, most certainly right along the beaches, you want to go ahead and get those things secured. Oh, you're very welcome. And we're going to talk about rainfall here in just a little bit. So you are going to be seeing those really gusty winds right along the beaches on Wednesday. And this is getting into gale force. So let's go further. Let's go further into the future. Thursday, those winds start to wind down. We're going to get to the rain in just a minute, Cindy. But the rain, some of it's starting now, but the bulk of it's going to start a little bit later on. I'll get to you in just a minute. We're going to get to that. So winds gusting up to 31 miles per hour by Thursday. So we see those winds come down. And then as we get to Friday, we're gusting about 24 miles an hour, not that big of a deal. By Saturday, we're gusting about the way it was today, just a little breezy. All right, rainfall, because I've been asked that, we're going to go right to that next. So this is your rain chances for tonight. Right now, about a 30% chance of a shower or a thunderstorm during the course of the overnight hours tonight. But then as we get into Monday, those rain chances go up. So about a 50 to 60% chance of rain county-wide. Showers could get the odd thunderstorm, but mostly showers, maybe a few spells of rain, the way things are looking right now. That's Monday night. Monday night, the rain chances actually go up to about 80% county-wide, with the higher chances right along the beaches. That's the bands of rain and showers will be coming in off the ocean and moving ashore. It won't rain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but the rain will come in spells where it might rain for an hour or two, then you get a break. Then it might rain for 4 or 5 hours, then you get a couple-hour break. You know, that kind of weather where the rain is basically going to be off and on, but there could be some sustained heavy downpours at times. So this is Monday night's rainfall chances. Let's get into Tuesday. So right now we're looking at about a 70% chance again of rain on Tuesday county-wide. Better chances at the beaches, a little bit less as you go inland. As we go into Tuesday night, those rain chances come down to about 40%. And keep in mind, this is several days out. This forecast can get tweaked between now and then. As we get into Wednesday, rain chances, it's about 70%, 60 to 70% there. County-wide, again, a little bit better chances at the beaches. And Cindy, I appreciate that, but let's make sure that it happens first. So this is just a forecast, but it's a pretty good confidence on this forecast from the Weather Service. So as we get into Wednesday night, rain chances, about 50% chance or so. And then as we get into Thursday, about a 60% chance. And again, that doesn't mean that 60% of the county is going to get rain. That means that at any given place, there's a 60% chance between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. that you will see measurable rainfall. And that's Thursday night. We start to see those rain chances dwindle off to about 30 to 35% chance, 20% chance. And as we go towards the end of the week, just a slight chance, like maybe a 40% chance on Friday. Friday night, maybe about a 15% chance. Saturday, about a 20% chance. How much rain are we going to get? Because that's what's going to matter here. So let's just go through the whole shebang. This is your 7-day rainfall. And 4 to 6 inches, quite widely expected. This is definitely an increase in forecast rain from just the other day. So 3 to 4 inches out here, but widely expecting 4 to 6 inches county-wide at this point. And this is our rainfall forecast from today to next Sunday. So this is over the course of 7 days. So if we get 4 to 6 inches of rain in one day, that's going to cause some problems. But if you spread it out and we get it a bit at a time, we could get some localized flooding temporarily with the downpours, but it should have time to drain off. The good news is, bad news is we've been in a drought. The good news is the drought is going to help mitigate any flooding concerns because all of the bays and swamps and stuff like that the water runs off to are pretty dry. So the water is going to have plenty of places to run off to. But if we get a lot of it, yeah, I know, I see that. We don't need it all at once. But if we do get a bunch of it at one fell swoop, it's going to take a little while for that water to drain off. So you could get some areas where the roads flood a little bit. They are designed to do that. The roads are designed to flood so your houses don't flood, especially up in Palm Coast. So how about rainfall over, that spans of time here? So this takes us 18 to 24 hours here. Hang on, rainfall amounts. Yes, okay. So this is days 1 through 2. So this is rainfall amounts from now until Tuesday. So maybe up to about 2 inches eastern part of the county, 1 inch western side of the county. This is now through Wednesday. So 2 to 3 inches of rain quite widely, maybe a little less than that inland. 1 to 4 days. Now we're getting up to that 4 to 6 inches. This is taking us up to Thursday. This takes us up to Friday. So basically the bulk of that rain is going to come between now and Friday based on what we're seeing here with all of this. And so that's what the amounts are. And again, these numbers can change too. So keep in mind that this can get tweaked around. It can be increased or decreased. I'm all for increasing it because we need the rain very badly. So let's go and talk about temperature now. We'll go talk about that. And this is not going to be that big of a deal compared to everything else going on. So tonight, lows generally lower 60s countywide. Tomorrow with the rainfall and the breezy north to northeast winds, again, getting gusty along the beaches, temperatures are going to struggle to get into the 70s. Now, don't let this map fool you. You see 77 degrees. You see out here in Bunnell. You see 75 in Palm Coast. 73 over here in Flagler Beach. These high temperatures will probably happen in the morning before the cooler air starts to come in and cool these temperatures off. So these warmer temperatures in the morning, then they start to cool down as the day progresses, especially with the gusty winds setting in. But we're not talking about very cold. It's just going to cool down a little bit. So tomorrow night, Tuesday morning, down in the 60s pretty largely. Tuesday, high temperatures will struggle to get into the lower 70s. And then pretty much as we go through the next couple days, Wednesday, again, just getting into the lower 70s, a little bit warmer inland. But then as we go towards the end of the week, we're going to see temperatures improving because the rain starts easing off. We get more sunshine, and then we're back up into the 70s, approaching 80 degrees by Friday. How's the weekend looking? Saturday, we're looking at temperatures getting right near 80 degrees, and there'll be more sunshine around by then. So, and then furthest we can go is Sunday morning temperatures, and we're looking at lows in the 60s. So no dramatic big deals in the temperatures. So the biggest things they're going to be going on with this weather system is going to be the rainfall amounts. Again, just giving you all another look at it. 4 to 6 inches quite widely. And also the winds. Let's get back there. And we're looking at wind gust here. The strongest day looks to be Wednesday, gusting up to gale force, a little bit better than that, right along the immediate coast here especially. But again, there can be a huge difference between the wind along A1A and the wind just a little bit inland. So if you're living in Palm Coast and you're going, where's all this wind that is expected? It's just a little breezy here. Take a little ride out to A1A. I'll go on WeatherStem and look at the Marineland WeatherStem anemometer or the Hammock Dunes Bridge. And I'll show you guys, before we wrap up, I'll show you guys how to get to that. Matter of fact, let me do that right now. So this way, again, you guys can learn how to do this. So if you go to flagler.weatherstem.com, and then here are all the weather stations right now. So let's take a look at Marinelands. And so Marineland, again, flagler.weatherstem.com. I'll put it in the comments after I get done here. So right now they're gusting up about 20 miles an hour here. There's live cameras on these things. No, you can't see the dolphins, sadly. But gusting up to 20 miles an hour. And this one here, looking at temperature about 73 degrees. But this is a good way to keep a live look on your local weather. So let's go and take a look at the longer range forecast now. How's it going to look as we go further into the future? So this takes us from April 11th to April 15th. This takes you into this weekend and into next week a little bit. So we're looking on the odds of temperatures above normal at 65%. So very likely above normal temperatures as we go into next week. Precipitation, how we looking there? Right now, if I can get it to go, right now we're actually looking at just a slightly better chances of below normal precipitation. Again, this is next week, not this week upcoming, is what this represents. Going further into the future, this gets us out into the middle of April now. So we're looking at temperatures to still hold above normal, largely above normal. And it doesn't mean you can't have a cool day or two. And then if you get into precipitation, below normal precipitation with just a slight chance of that. So, folks, that's going to wrap things up. Let me go ahead and get back to my satellite imagery here. And so we'll take just a quick glimpse at the weather radar right now. And let me get my way back there. Because this is only relevant right now for anyone watching this later. So this is radar as of April 5th. At about 20 minutes after 8 o'clock at night. And we got some thunderstorms down here by Orlando and some storms up moving into St. Johns County here. They may weaken. Looks like they're starting to weaken a little bit. And I don't see anything lined up on Flagler County right at the moment here. So, again, just to review. So, folks, just to review. So, things are going to turn quite blustery along the beaches starting tomorrow. High risk of rip currents through Monday. Dangerous surf zone conditions expected to develop through Monday. And then as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, up to 7 to 12-foot breakers can be expected at the beaches. Let's focus on that. So strong onshore winds will bring dangerous beach boating conditions Monday through Friday, this entire week. Don't take your little boat out there. High rip current risk, high dangerous surf conditions, and windy at area beaches. So, again, follow the beach hazard. Basically, unless you're a surfer and you really know what you're doing, just don't get in the water. So that's going to be the main weather story this week. And we'll be doing updates as the week progresses. So thank you for tuning in with us. If you've just joined us and you've missed the program, you can rewind it after I save it. I'll also put the link up to our YouTube channel momentarily. You will be able to rewatch this entire program there. And also, if you go to our TikTok channel, just look at Flagler Weather Info on TikTok, and we will put our video up there as well. Everybody have a fantastic week. If anything real major happens with this system, we'll be back with another live update middle part of the week. But if not, we'll be back at the end of the week. But we'll be posting updates continually through the week ahead.